Hey guys, welcome back to my video. So if you're tired of scrolling and you want some books to read and you feel that they genuinely will make to your top ratings, then I am here to recommend you some good books. Hey hi, my name is Janisha and currently you're watching me explaining about books, speaking about books and gossiping about books. So yeah, let's get started. The first book is A Man Called O by Frederick Backman, and if you know me, I'm a huge fan of Frederick Backman. This book is about a grumpy person who doesn't want to speak with anybody, who just wants to be in his own life, who wants to end his life and keep on thinking the suicidal ways to end his life, and suddenly a family moves towards his neighborhood, and this slowly will encounter his emotions, the changes in this emotion, how he changes from that grumpy old person to a very gentle guy who thinks about basically thinks about other people. So this is just a revolution, not a revolution, but a translation of old grumpy person to a kind-hearted man. So I am huge fan of this book. But basically, the Frederick Backman books, I'm a huge fan of his. So this is one of the book I would like to recommend to you. So next book is about We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. So this book follows a group of cousins who spend their time in the private island, but there are a lot of hidden things in their family which is going on. So this book is a very fast paced and easy read, and you may get confused at certain times because of the time slap. Even I was confused at some point, but everything makes sense when it comes to the end. So this book I just picked it without any what do you say expectations, but the twist which came here, I would not say it blew my mind, but definitely somewhere I was like still thinking about it, and it was still there after I finished this book. So this is about the second book. So the next book is Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. So if I have to tell about this book, like I am reading certain books and I really fell in love with the writing, and this is one of the author, that is Marcus Zuzak. So this book is set up in the World War II, which follows a girl called Lizel who finds comfort in reading books during that difficult times. Speaking about this book is a little bit slow, but it will be a worth read. It builds emotions gradually, so you just get hooked up with this book. And book is just told by death itself. So death is going to narrate you at the end. I know you're gonna cry it for a long duration. This book when I picked was with less expectations, but I became a huge fan of Marcus Zuzak and Zuzak's writing. So this is one of the book that will just stay with you forever and forever. I just said it is gonna stay with you forever and forever. So yeah, this is about the Book Thief, and let's get to the fourth book. So the fourth book is Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman. So I have spoken about this book in my recent videos, I think. So if you're finding something funny, something comfort read, then this is that book. Just grab it and just read it. So this has been in my TBR for a very long time, and I just picked it, but I didn't knew that this book will be the good one. So yeah, so this basically is the collection of the Norse mythology, Norse myths, like gods like Odin, Thor, Loki. It's very simple, comfort, funny read, and each chapter is itself like one whole story. And this basically, if you are a Loki fan, then I am 100% recommending you to read this book.
Amazing!
This book is whole about Loki. Most of it's about Loki and Loki's mischievous, and how Thor and how Odin is getting frustrated by his mischiefs. So yeah, this the book is about everything about the Norse myth, and it's just it's just a good read, and the writing doesn't feel very heavy. It's just a simple funny comfort read. So I would really recommend you to read this book. So next book is The Wicked King by Holly Black. So this is not a standalone book. This is the series, and this comes to be the second part in the series. So this book is set up in a fairy world who follows Jude, who is trying to survive in the world of politics, in the world of face, in the world of manipulations. She has to deal with everything, and she has to survive there. So this book is about a kingdom which is set up in Fey world, and Jude is Fey plus human. So she's the combination of that, if I have to put in that words. So she has to deal with everything and the politics which is going in that fantasy world. This book is about mind games, about manipulations. Each chapters which follows the conspiracies, she has to deal with it, and she has to fight for her family. And this book you would pick when you really feel like you need a book that will lighten you or that will interest you with the female lead. So I'm not saying this full book is full of female fights or something like that, but this book is basically about romance, female lead. You will really fall in love with Jude because she's that female character that will just attract you. So this is the book, and yeah, this comes the second part. The first part is called Cruel Prince, the second is the Wicked King, and third book, if I'm not, is the Queen of Nothing. And there is one more book, if I'm not wrong, The Prisoner of something. I'm really not sure,
Okay.
but this is the one which I liked from the three books in that series. Yeah, so definitely I would recommend you to pick this book. So the next book is The Bewilderment by Richest Power. Just look at this cover, guys. Just look at this cover. And I just bought this book only for the cover, and I became a huge fan of Richard Powers. Let me speak about the book. So this book focuses on a young scientist called Theo who is in a research of finding a different planet other than Earth to survive there, which is far away from a light years away, basically. And he is a widow father with a son called Robin, and who is a very sweet, gentle kid. So this book really focuses on the Earth, yeah, the Earth planet, in speaking about the environment, creating awareness about this environment, about this nature, about the Earth. This book, I would don't know where to place this book, but this for me is very close to my heart. The chapters are very not very easy, I would like to say, but it is a little bit heavy somewhere, I feel, because it not only makes you fall in love with this book, this will also make you know about much more terms geographically. And yeah, it was very difficult for me at the beginning to grasp certain skills, certain words, certain new words, basically, to know about their meaning. So I had to keep a dictionary aside me while reading this book, but I became a huge fan. Basically, I don't like books where I have to research more about it, but this book is something different. This is not a fast paced book, this is a very slow book. I know some people may not like this book because of the writing, because it's little bit hard, because it's not in a very simple English terms, it's little bit difficult to read. But I'm just saying to pick it someday in your life and read this book. It is about a story about the father and the son. They are in a griff, and Robin is going to get expelled from the school for thrashing or smashing his friends. And the father is in the search of finding a new planet for them to survive. And basically, I just fell in love with Robin. And the end, I just don't want to talk it, but yeah, I would really, if I have to pick a book out of all these books which I spoke today, then definitely this book will be my first and first most priority for you to read. And not everybody would love this book. I would definitely recommend you to pick this book. And yeah, you can see I have annotated the certain pages, and I have no words to speak about this book. This book is very, very close to my heart. And yeah, that's it with all the books I have spoken today. I have given a brief, may not be sufficient for you guys to pick it up, but definitely these books are something I would really recommend from each of the genres. So yeah, I hope you like the video. Stay tuned and yeah, subscribe and like the video. And yeah, I'll be coming forward with putting such more good and good videos. And yeah, thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye bye.